This video, I'm going to be showing you how to build a voice AI agent for home services using ElevenLabs and Make.com. This voice AI agent is able to check availability within a calendar system, book jobs and appointments within inside a calendar system, send SMSs and confirmation email reminders to both the plumber and the customer, and then even go ahead and answer any questions 24/7 via a knowledge base. And by the end of this video, you have a completely free voice AI template that you can go ahead and implement into ElevenLabs and into Make.com, so you can build your very first voice AI agent using these platforms, or if you want to implement it into other clients' businesses for a demo or any other purposes. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop into ElevenLabs, where I'll show you how to configure the voice AI agent. Then we'll go over to Make so you can see how everything works. Let's get into it.
Sam speaking from FlowFix Plumbing. How can I help you today?
Hey, how you going, Sam? I'd just like to book in a service appointment, please. I've got a leaky tap.
I'm going well, thank you. I'm sorry to hear about your leaky tap, but I can definitely help you with that. Can I please get your full name, phone number, email address, and the address where the tap is located?
Yeah, sure. So it's Ashton Voss. My phone number is 123-456-789. My email address is ashtonvoss47@gmail.com. And then the address will be 123 Main Drive, please, in Brisbane.
Okay, so just to confirm, that's Ashton Voss. Phone number 123-456-789. Email ashtonvoss47@gmail.com. And the address is 123 Main Drive in Brisbane. Is that all correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
Great. What day and time would you prefer for your appointment, Ashton?
Do you have any availability maybe next week, Monday at 9:30 a.m.?
Okay, let me check if we have availability for you on Monday at 9:30 a.m. Great news, Ashton, that time slot is available. So I have a booking for Ashton Voss at 123 Main Drive for a leaky tap on Monday, August 25th at 9:30 a.m. Can you confirm that is all correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, I'm booking that in for you now. Okay, Ashton, your appointment has been booked and you'll receive a confirmation message shortly. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Happy I could help with your booking. Have a great day.
Awesome. So you can see right there that we have a new confirmation or a SMS that has been sent to us. In this case, it'll be sent to the plumber. Okay, so this is the ElevenLabs Conversational AI 2.0. It's their voice AI platform that allows us to create these voice AI agents using ElevenLabs voices, which we all know is the best in the voice AI game. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video and yeah, let's start building this agent. So we're going to go ahead to create an agent from here. New agent, and then you want it to be a blank agent. Now, because I've already pre-built a voice AI agent that you can just go ahead and copy and paste alongside me, I'm not going to be hopping into building it from scratch, but if you do want to build this voice AI agent, you need to click blank agent. We're not going to be using any of the prompts or templates that ElevenLabs have given us. So I'm going to go ahead and implement or go over to the agent that I've already built, and yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, we have the agent language. So this is the default language that the agent is going to communicate in, which is English, but we can change that by adding additional languages right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add Spanish. So now the AI agent can be multilingual and it can switch between different languages that the customer is speaking. So this is really useful for people that obviously don't speak English or they don't speak Spanish as their main language. So the AI agent can now transfer in between these different languages and speak in those languages. So as you can see, you can go ahead and add in all these different languages within inside of ElevenLabs. You can add as many as you want, and the AI agent is able to detect when someone is speaking a different language and then transfer its voice to speak and communicate in that language. So I've just added Spanish in here. So now whenever someone speaks Spanish to this voice AI agent, it's able to detect that language. And then from there, we have the first message. So this is the first message that the AI agent will say every time someone is picking up that phone or, calling the phone number. So for example, this is just going to be, hello, this is Sam speaking from FlowFix Plumbing. How can I help you today? So because this is an inbound voice AI agent for, a home service company or a plumbing company, in this case, it's going to say this, constant message every single time someone calls the phone. So again, we're not going to be adding any dynamic variables or anything along those lines because it is an inbound voice AI agent. And then from here, this is probably one of the most important parts of these voice AI agents is the system prompt. So this really allows the AI agent to, define its persona, to define all the different tasks that it has to do within the conversation, and just really its prompt and its role within this context of the business and how to handle those conversations. So that's the main reason for the system prompt. And the better we can prompt this voice AI agent, the better the voice AI agent is and the better conversations it's going to be having. So I'm going to be showing you my formula for prompting this voice AI agent in a home service context in this case. But yeah, if you do want this prompt that I'm using, I'm going to leave it in the link in the description below. You can just go ahead and download it and copy it, paste it into ElevenLabs for you to use completely for free. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and then download the voice AI agent template that you can get everything with the prompt, the workflows and everything. So let me just quickly run you through this prompt. Before I do that, I just want to note these are called markdown formats with inside the prompt. So this gives us the ability to change what the AI or the LLM is seeing. So just to kind of visualize that, I've got a software here that allows us to, put in our prompt in our markdown format and then see what the AI is seeing. So this really allows us to customize our prompt to put, as you can see, headers, bold words with the inside the prompt. You've got dot points in here. You've got different things that you can give the voice AI agent to customize the conversation. So, for example, you can bold certain things with inside the prompt to make it to make the AI agent see it or make it more obvious. You can put different headings as we have here to make the AI agent understand its role and its task better. So this is just a really important thing when we're prompting to make the conversation better and to make our voice AI agents better. So this is just a software that I like to use to visualize our prompts. On the left here is the prompt in just plain text, which is what you're seeing with inside ElevenLabs. And then on the right side here is what the AI is actually seeing, in its brain, or whatever you like to call it. So yeah, this is a really useful tool, a really useful thing that we can do inside our prompts to even make our voice AI agents a lot better. So yeah, that's exactly how this little thing I like to show you. This is what the AI is seeing down here. But yeah, let's get back into ElevenLabs and I'll run you through this prompt. So first of all, we have the role. I've said you are Sam, a calm, efficient, and professional virtual assistants for Flowflix Plumbing. Your primary job is to answer customer calls, schedule service appointments. You must sound clear, helpful, reassuring, especially since the customer may be calling about stressful situations like leaks. So, for example, in this section in the role, we are defining its persona. So I've said you're calm, efficient, and a professional virtual assistant for Flowflix Plumbing. So I've said its role within inside the business and then also its persona as well inside this section. And then right here, we also have the primary job, which is to answer customer calls and schedule service appointments. And then we're also giving the AI how to sound within the conversation. So clear, helpful, and reassuring. So this is really important within inside the role of our voice AI agent to make sure it understands its role within the business and the context within the business. And then from here, we have the current time. So again, this is a dynamic variable that we like to call it. So with whatever time it is speaking inside, whatever time it's speaking to the customer, it's going to be a different time. So for example, this is going to be my time in GMT plus 10 in Australia and Brisbane. But again, this is really important because we can let the AI know the current time. This makes it very easy for the AI to send different times off to different automation softwares like Make and N8N, just to make it more easier for us to process in a universal format. So again, this is a very important thing that we need to have in our voice AI agents when we're dealing with bookings and time zones and communicating time. So yeah, that's what we have. It's called a dynamic variable. If you do want to add that dynamic variable, you can go down here and then just select system time zone, or you can even add your own time zone. Across here, we've got Eastern Standard Time, London, Tokyo. So yeah, you can just go ahead and add in that, but I've just got the system time zone for this one. And then from there, we have the task. So again, I like to handle the task in step-by-step processes. So the AI agent knows how to handle every single conversation by steps. Again, you can do it a bunch of different ways. I also have different sections within voice prompts for different flows that I like to use as well. But this is just one of the ways I like to do it as well in a step-by-step process. So as you can see right here, your main task is to handle inbound customer calls, book plumbing service appointments. You will use a 5-step process to gather information, check for available times, book the job, and notify the on-duty plumber. So again, those are the 5 things that the AI agent is able to do inside this conversation. And then from there, we have it in certain steps. So we've got step 1, greet the customer. Step 2, collect the job information. Step 3, check availability. Step 4, book the appointment. And then step 5, confirm the booking and then notify the plumber. So we have a few tools that we're using. We're using, I believe, 3 or 2 tools in this voice AI agent to check availability, book appointments, and then also notify the plumber. And I'll show you exactly how that's structured within Make and yeah. All right, so starting with the first step, which is greeting the customer and identifying the issue. So first of all, it's going to greet the customer and introduce itself. So, again, you are Sam from Flowflix Plumbing. How can I help you today? So it's going to greet the customer and then identify the issue. So again, this is important because we need to determine if it's an emergency, or if it's urgent, or if it's just a normal task that we like to do. So again, this is really important inside the context of a plumbing business or a home service business. You do have a lot of emergency situations, so it's good to identify that reason if it is an emergency. And then from there, we have step 2, which is collect the customer information and job information. So we're going to ask the customer for the full name, phone number, email address, and the service of the appointment, so the address for the service appointment. And then we're going to confirm and read these details back to the customer to make sure it is correct before proceeding. So this is really important. Number 1, that we collect all the relevant details that we need for the booking, the confirmation, and everything to let the plumber or the agent know. And then also confirming those different details back to the customer to ensure they're correct. So again, this is really important to make sure that the AI agent or the voice AI agent doesn't mess up within any of the details or information that it sends. And then from here, we have step 3, which is check availability. So this is checking availability within inside a calendar slot. So from there, once it has confirmed all the details, it'll then move on to step 3. So you can see kind of how we can structure this agent in different steps to ensure its accuracy and efficiency. And then from there, obviously, check availability. So once it has confirmed those details, it's going to offer to find an appointment time and ask the customer for their preferred day and time. And then we're going to be using the check availability tool. So a really important thing that we have in this prompt is that we're mentioning the tools in quotation marks, so the AI agent knows to call that exact tool and what details to send in the tool as well. So again, using the check availability tool to find an open slot, and then you always must check the times in the future, referencing the system time zone. So again, this is really important. We're letting the AI know the current time right now and always making sure to check availability in the future. So this is really important so the AI agent doesn't check availability in the past or too many weeks ahead. So yeah, this is important when we're checking availability and sending this information via tools. Again, I will show you what that tool looks like, but for now, another important thing is just to note, make sure you always have those tools in quotation marks and then the same name that you have in the tool and in the prompt as well. And then from there, when using the tool, ensure the time is in ISO 861 format. So again, this is really important. You can either convert it or do it in the prompt or do it in the automation. For this example, I'm just doing it in the prompt. So the AI agent is going to send that specific time in an ISO 861 format, which allows us to further go ahead and customize the automation and all the different softwares that we use. So again, it just makes it really easy for us to book these appointments within inside this format. And then from there, if the customer's preferred time is unavailable, use the check availability tool to find the next suggested closest time. So again, pretty simple. Using that tool again, if that time does come back, unsuccessful or not available, it's just going to keep checking times to find a slot to their closest time. And then from there, you must get confirmation of an available time slot before moving towards the next step. So again, once we need to make sure that that time is actually available and we need to confirm that with the customer. Again, this just really makes sure that we're ensuring accuracy within the business. And then from there, once it has the details, once it has the check availability, we're then going to proceed to booking the appointment. So once the time is agreed upon, verbally confirm all the details one last time. So again, I've just given it an example right here. So, I've got a booking, John Smith, at this address for a block kitchen sink tomorrow at 10 a.m. Is that correct? So again, confirming all those details once again, it's really important. We need to make sure we get these details right when dealing with a voice AI agent. And then from there, run the book appointment tool. Again, I should have this in quotation marks so it knows the exact tool. Again, run the book appointment tool with the following specific inputs: name, number, address, issue, and in time, which is 8601 format. And then step 5, confirm the booking and notify the plumber. After the book appointment tool runs successfully, inform the customer that their booking is confirmed, and then inform them that they will receive a confirmation message shortly. So I'll show you exactly how that's done with inside Make and how we can manipulate and change all these variables to make it different for each customer. And then from there, end the call professionally using the end call tool. So the end call tool is an inbuilt tool we have inside ElevenLabs. So yeah, that's exactly, how we can, create a detailed and comprehensive task so the AI agent knows exactly how to handle this conversation. From there, we have some general questions. So again, if we go back to the Markdown live format, we can see that this is actually bold and it has a heading, so the AI agent knows it's a different section from this. That's just a quick note there. So again, general questions. So for these home service businesses, a lot of people may be asking, where do you serve, or what time you serve, or what time you close today, or what time you serving. So this just allows us to make sure that the AI agent answers these questions accurately via a knowledge base. So again, we have a knowledge base inbuilt in here. All this section is really saying is to make sure that the AI agent refers directly to the knowledge base before providing any relevant response. If you cannot find an answer or provide an appropriate response to the caller's queries, you must not make up any information. Simply say, I'm not quite sure, or perhaps you could Google that. So again, this is making sure that the AI agent refers to the knowledge base every single time someone is asking a question outside of, booking an appointment. And then from there, we need to make sure the AI agent is not making up any information, because that negatively affects the business. And then from there, we have an example conversation and scenario. Again, this should be in Markdown format. Again, all this is doing is letting the AI know, 1, how to handle the conversation, 2, when to call certain tools. So you can see right here, I've actually got mentioning the tools within inside the conversation. So this is important. So the AI and the voice AI and agent knows when to call these tools within the conversation. And then number 3, which is really important, is to make sure that the AI agent is always staying on track. So again, we don't want the caller using 5-10 minutes of these voice AI agents time. It only really should be 1 to 2 minutes on the phone of the conversation. So this just lets the AI agent know that it needs to stick kind of to this structure each time. So yeah, that's important. And then finally, for the prompt, we have the notes. So again, I just like to add this into every single AI agent to make it more conversational. So I've said, use everyday conversational language, keep the responses short and natural, 2 to 3 sentences max, and then use their name throughout the conversation, and then add natural speech fillers like when appropriate. So again, this is just making the conversation more personalized. Again, I went into a little bit of more detail than I usually would in this prompt. Just to kind of explain how I structure my prompts, what certain sections mean. So again, this is really important to understand, and a good prompt will ultimately make or break the voice AI agent. So again, this is a good structure to use for these prompts. So yeah, now that we're done with the prompt, we can go ahead and move down over to the dynamic variables. Again, we have no dynamic variables apart from this right here. Again, these dynamic variables are in double curly brackets, which we call it. So yeah, again, that's the only dynamic variable that we have. The LLM, I'm just using Gemini 2.0 Flash for this example. As you can see, we've got the new GPT-5 out as well, GPT-5 Mini, Nano. So again, you can use all these different models that ElevenLabs have inbuilt. The temperature, so this essentially just controls the creativity of the AI agent. So again, if you have it up higher, it's going to be more creative with its responses, and it's not going to stick to the prompt as much as we'd like it. And then again, if you have it lower, it's then just going to be more strict to the prompt and sound, less creative. So again, I just like to keep this, at halfway. It doesn't really matter or affect how our voice AI agent sounds. And then from there, limit token usage. We won't really cover this, but again, it doesn't really matter. Again, AI agent knowledge base. So again, this is the knowledge base of the AI agent that we're using. So if we go ahead and click on here, we can actually see the information that we've fed the AI agent. So again, each time a customer asks a question, it's going to search this knowledge base for a relevant answer and then provide the customer with the information that it's found from the knowledge base right here. So again, that's what it looks like. Again, if you want to add a document, really easy, just go ahead and add a file, drop it in, pretty simple. And then from here, we have the tools. So again, this is the next important part of our AI agent inside the home service niche. So again, these tools allow us to, send different information to automation softwares like Make, N8N to check availability, book appointments, send SMSs, do all these different capabilities, which really makes our AI agent the way it is. So Again, I've got these two tools switched on that ElevenLabs already has inbuilt, which is an end call tool. So again, this gives the agent the ability to end call with the user. Again, this is really important so that the voice AI agent knows, to end the call and not use up too many minutes for the business. And then also detect language. So as you saw right here, for additional languages, the AI agent is able to detect Spanish with inside the conversation. So again, if you do want that multilingual agent, you'll need to switch on the detect language tool inside here. And then from here, we have the custom tools. So we've got two custom tools, which is a book appointment tool and then a check availability tool. And we're actually hosting these automations inside Make, which looks a little bit like this. So these are the two automations or two tools that we're connecting to make these automations. So again, check availability and then book appointment as well. So I'll run you through what these tools look like right now. First tool we have is the check availability tool, and how we actually connect ElevenLabs and Make is via a webhook. So a webhook essentially is a webhook address that allows us to send information, in this case the time, to then go ahead and create an automation and trigger an automation to check availability in this instance. So again, the name is check availability. Again, really make sure that this name is the same inside your prompt so the AI agent knows what tool to call and how to call it. And then the description. So again, this is the description to the LLM to let it know what the tool is. So again, making sure it's just a description to check the availability of the calendar. And then the webhook URL right here. So again, method, just make sure this is in post, and then URL, just make sure this URL is the exact same that we have inside this automation. So if we jump ahead inside Make, we can see what this automation looks like. All right, so if we go right here, we can see that this is going to be the same webhook address that we have inside N8N. So if I copy that and then put it in here, we need to make sure that this webhook address is the exact same within inside this tool. So yeah, again, as soon as that information is called to this webhook, it's then going to trigger this automation. And then from there, response time, this just essentially means how long to wait when the tool is no longer available or it responds, to an unsuccessful message. Again, don't really touch that, I think it's on like 20 seconds. So again, that's heaps of time for the automation to run. Just make sure it's, more than at least 5 or 10 seconds. And then from there, we don't really touch any of this. We have some body parameters. So again, as I mentioned before, we are sending this webhook, or we're sending this information to a webhook address. And what that really looks like is in a JSON format. So if we switch it to JSON, this is actually what is being sent to that webhook via JSON. So again, JSON is just a form that allows us to send information from webhook to webhook in this case. So again, connecting ElevenLabs all the way to make.com. And then from there, I've got a description of the parameter. So again, this is just adding in JSON objects and fields that allow us to put into Make. So again, really no code needed for this. You can just add in these body parameters within inside ElevenLabs. So again, the description is to gather the requested time of the customer. The data type is the string, and then the identifier is the time. So again, as you can see, if we switch over to the JSON, we can see that we have again, see right here, it's adding in the time as the value right there. And then from there, we have a description. So the requested time of the customer for the calendar system. So again, letting the AI know this is getting sent to the LLM to describe how to extract that data from the transcript. So this is really important. Just make sure this is the same. And then value type is LLM prompt. So yeah, that's all we have within inside this tool right here. So again, the AI agent is going to know what time to extract based on the prompt and transcript to then send that webhook information over to make.com to process a check availability automation. So yeah, that's exactly how that works. And then we can actually go ahead and jump into Make right here, and I'll show you how everything is. So if we go back out to here, a recent automation that we did. Okay, so this is the first automation that we have, and this is a check availability automation. So all that's happening right here within inside this automation is that you can see right here, this is a test that I actually did, is that once we have extracted that time, so the requested time of the customer, it's going to send that via JSON and then trigger this automation via a webhook. So as you can see right here, this is the data that has been sent inside N8N, inside make.com. So again, that is the time that we have scheduled the requested time that the customer has asked. And then from there, it's going to contact OpenAI to get that time zone in GMT plus 10. And then from there, it's going to hop into Google Calendar and check availability with inside that calendar. So of course, if you were doing this for a service company or a home service, you would actually go ahead and implement it and check availability for their specific system. And how you do that is you can either do it via Make with the inbuilt apps that they have. So for example, if we just click on here, we can see that they actually do have like Service Titan, which is what a lot of home service companies and home service businesses use. So you can see you can search jobs, you can create jobs, you can search for receipts, search for customers, you can do all these things with inside an inbuilt module inside Make. Or you can either do a API request. So essentially how we do that is via HTTPS. So again, you can see right here, we can do it via APIs with inside HTTPS. So again, those are the two things that you can kind of use to connect to those businesses' calendars. So again, it may look a little bit different than this automation, but you can use the same structure, you can use the same workflow, and all the things that we're using inside Make to connect to their businesses' calendars and do all those type of things. So yeah, that's just a brief rundown of how you can actually connect to those businesses' calendars. But again, this is a perfect use case for a plumber or a home service company in Google Calendar. If you do want to use it for a demo, or if you want to use it for another purpose to show them or build it out for the client, for a test run, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of how you can connect to it. But if we just go back out to the history, we can see the recent call that I did for this automation. See from here, once it has triggered that workflow via the requested time, it's then going to contact OpenAI to get that time and make sure it's in GMT plus 10. And then from there, it's going to use Google Calendar to check availability within inside that calendar. So we can see right here, if we go into it, we can see that the input is, maximum time right here. And then from here, it's check the calendars. So yeah, that available slot was available, and then it's then going to use that available slot and respond to it via webhook. So how this little section works with inside Make is essentially what it's doing is if that time is available that has been requested by the customer inside Google Calendar, it's then going to head down this path, and we do this via a filter. So if it is available within the calendar, it's then going to respond to that customer using a webhook. So again, using a webhook response is how we complete that automation and send that information back to ElevenLabs. And then if that time isn't available, essentially all that it's going to be doing is trying to find more available times based on that time slot. So if we just go into the diagram, I'll show you how it works. If it is available, it's then going to use that filter, and it's going to say it's available and send a response back. And then if it's unavailable, so if it doesn't pass through that filter, it's then going to go down here and find different time slots to the customer. So again, this is a tool section inside make.com that we use to set different tools. So again, we're getting the day of that appointment, and then we're also searching for busy slots with inside that day. So for example, if it was, as you saw, I think I said tomorrow at 9 a.m. or whatever time I said, it's then going to search and get those available slots for that day inside the calendar. And then from there, it's just going to be transforming to a JSON. And then from there, it's going to be converting those times to our time zone, so GMT plus 10. And then from there, we have a module here to essentially find different times. So again, we're giving AI some times inside the calendar that we've found. And then all we're doing is we're telling it to generate a message and finding alternative times within inside the calendar. And then from there, generating a message to say to the person on the phone. And then from there, we're just sending that response back. So again, with that message that we have created with those times that we've found via those time slots within Google Calendar, this is going to be that information we've been getting sent via webhook via response. So yeah, that's essentially how this little automation works right here. Again, if you want to download it and test it, it all should work. But yeah, this is an automation how we can actually go ahead and check availability, and also check availability with inside a Google Calendar. So yeah, now let's hop back over to ElevenLabs and I'll show you the final last booking. Okay, so the last tool that we use is the book appointment tool. Again, this tool will just be a little bit longer as we do need to send some of those details that we've collected off to book into the calendar. So again, the same thing is we have the same name, again, making sure this name is the exact same within the prompt. We've got the description here. So again, telling the LLM how to use this tool and when to use this tool. And then from there, we have the URL via a webhook. So again, sending that information that we've collected with inside the conversation and sending that to a webhook to then trigger a booking automation. So again, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Come back over here. I'll show you what it actually looks like. Plumbing automation. book job. So yeah, this is the final automation that we have. And essentially what it's doing is it's one, booking an appointment, and then two, it's sending a confirmation email to the customer, and then three, it's also sending an internal notification to the plumber. Now, I've found this is really useful when working with plumbers in general, because they don't usually like to check their calendar all day. You know, but often a lot of times they're driving and they're not checking their calendar or not checking their emails, and simply a lot of plumbers and a lot of people just prefer just a text to their phone so they can see it easily. So again, this is all this automation is for: booking the calendar event, sending confirmation email to the customer that is booked, and then sending an internal notification to the plumber. So we go back over to ElevenLabs, we can see, again, the same thing, description, we've got the webhook there. And then if we come down to the parameters, this is just going to be a little bit different from the previous workflow, because we need different values and we need different strings and data types. So again, we've got the number, we have the address, we've got the email, we've got the time, and then we've also got the issue. So again, once the AI agent has identified all these values and we prompt the AI agent to ask this, it's then going to collect all these different things, send it off via JSON, trigger the workflow with inside Make via webhook. So yeah, that's exactly how it works. And as you can see, just need to make sure that you've got the data type set as string, number, value is LLM prompt, and then the description, just make sure you're informing the LLM, you know, what this data type is exactly for and how to extract it with inside the transcript to make sure it's correct. So again, pretty self-explanatory. We've got the description, the phone number of the customer, the address of the customer, again, email, confirm time. So again, just putting all these in, you know, we can do this just via adding it with inside. We don't actually need to send it via JSON, which makes it really easy. But yeah, you can see this is what the JSON looks like. I will copy this and put it inside the resources, so you don't actually have to go ahead and add in all these different types with inside the form. You can just go ahead and paste in the JSON and it'll be all correct. But yeah, that's exactly how you can do this with inside ElevenLabs. So yeah, again, once it has triggered that tool, it's then going to send all this information back over to Make. So yeah, automation that we have to go ahead and book it, and then also send confirmation emails and internal notifications to the plumber. So if we just jump in here, we can see that again, this workflow is getting triggered via a webhook response. A custom webhook. So again, it's triggered via that webhook that we've sent over from ElevenLabs. It's then creating an event in the calendar. Again, pretty simple. We're just putting those details that we have extracted from that conversation into this module to create an event. So you can see we've got the name, we've got the number, we've got the start date time, we've got the duration of the appointment, which is 1 hour, and then we've got the description. So if I just go over to my Google Calendar real quick, that's one I did beforehand, so you have some data to see. As you can see, we've got the time, we've got the address, we've got the issue. So this is what it looks like with inside Google Calendar. So if we head back over here, again, that is the description. So I just probably delete that. We've already got the time there. I'll put in the number as well. There we go, put in the number. So yeah, that's what it looks like inside Google Calendar. Again, inserting those fields that were collected via a webhook inside to Make. Location, which is the address of the workplace or of wherever it's taking place, and then attendees. This is important. Make sure you have these attendees, so you know Google Calendar knows who to invite and to make sure that they're in there. Again, putting the name and email. So again, pretty simple with inside this module right here to create the Google event. So again, getting this information we have extracted by ElevenLabs, putting it into a Google Calendar event, putting them into all the fields, email, name, attendees, and then scheduling that event. And then from here, once that has completed, it's then going to send a confirmation email to the customer. So one of the executions that I've done beforehand, we can see kind of all these things that have been triggered. So again, once I have created that event, it's then going to send an email. So we can see right here, hey Ashton Voss, this is a confirmation that your service appointment for a leaky tap has been successfully scheduled for the time, and then at the address we look forward to seeing you. So again, that's the email that has been getting sent. So if we go back over to here, we can see that those are the variables that were put in from that webhook just to send them a confirmation email. So each time a new customer books, it's going to be auto-populated, and these fields auto-populated based on all the things that we've collected from ElevenLabs. So again, pretty simple. And then from there, we're sending an internal notification to a plumber. So if I just get up my phone, you can see right here, this is what it exactly looks like. So you can see right there, that is what the text looks like with inside, an SMS. And we can do this via Twilio. So again, Twilio is a platform that allows us to create phone numbers and then also create phone numbers to send SMSs. So if we just hop into the diagram here, we can see how this is configured. So again, using the create message module within inside make.com. And you need to make sure that you do have a phone number that allows you to send SMSs within inside Twilio. Again, I really won't get into how to set up Twilio in this video, but again, yeah, you will need a number to make sure that you can send SMSs, reminders or whatever, confirmation text in this case. So again, from there, we're using the send from phone number, and the phone number, I've just selected my phone number in there. And then from there, we'll just set a set phone number. So you could either do you could either get the number and you could do a confirmation text to the customer. But in this case, I've just put in a set number, which is my number in here. So again, in perspective of the plumber or the person that's receiving the text, it makes it really easy. So all we need to do is put in a set number right here. But again, if you want to send an SMS to the customer, you will need their number in right there. And then from there, we've got a body. So again, putting the name, issue, time, address, number, email. Again, making sure this is formatted in a way that the plumber can understand. So yeah, that's all that's really happening within inside this Twilio module right here, is sending an internal notification to the plumber and then sending a webhook response back. So to let the AI know that it's been successfully booked. So yeah, and then that's really it for the voice AI agent. And then from here, if we go back up to the voice, we're just using Eric. Analysis, security, advanced widget. We're not really worrying about all those different things. But yeah, that's kind of the whole overview of how you can create an agent, using that prompting formula, using these two workflows to book appointments, send SMSs, create events inside a calendar. But yeah, hopefully this gave you a better idea on how to build these systems for these businesses. They can use these voice AI agents so much, especially in the home service niches, because they're constantly on the phone or they don't have time, they're on a job site. So this is a great niche and a great AI agent to go after. And of course, if you are a business owner and you want a system like this, you want a custom built all done for you, feel free to go ahead and book a call in the link in the description below. We'll be happy to answer any questions and see if this AI agent is a good fit for you and your business. But yeah, without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.